Hey, Ben Arce, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
What's up?
Happy to be here.
Yeah, man. So, breakfast with the broker. Sorry we're a little bit late. 9:29. You know, it's a real estate thing. So, thank you very much for coming. I appreciate
welcome.
it.
I'm honored to be here.
And I'll tell you, you really got me into video and talking about the interviews because you had me on
Keys
to
to
Boca,
yeah.
which was a great program that you did. So tell me a little bit about how you got into that.
Yeah, so with trying to stand out from other realtors, and right now everybody's doing video, and I think everybody's jumping on. But what I did, a couple months ago, I wanted to do video, and I wanted to do a little different. One of the things that I felt that a lot of agents kind of do, in my opinion, the wrong way. It's always like sell, sell, sell. Like it's my listing, I got a new listing, open house, things like that. What I wanted to do, and it was kind of two-part. One, I'm a little bit newer to South Florida. It's been about 4 years, but I'll call myself newer. So I needed to learn real estate. It's what I do. So I thought, okay, as I'm learning about all these projects, or just even, becoming friends with you or other agents in our community, might as well make a video about it. So it's kind of two parts. So, Keys to Boca was something that, I wanted to do separate of like real estate. I never really promoted myself, hey, I'm an agent, buy this community I'm showing, or call me. Even if I sat with a sales director of a new construction community, I was always like, go visit them. Just tell them you saw here on Keys to Boca. And I just thought it would bring a lot of value, because I knew when I was driving around Boca and I saw all these new constructions, I was always curious, what's going here, or what's being built here. So if I was thinking that, I'm sure everybody else was thinking that. So
Absolutely.
I wanted to just get in front of the new construction, talk to guys like you, other agents, and kind of collab, because I think that's kind of where the key is of being a good agent, knowing the market, and just being really solid all around.
I mean, that's interesting because, quite honestly, that whole program was an inspiration and kind of what inspired this breakfast with the broker. So
Right.
That's why I kudos to you, obviously, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Your background, you may be new to South Florida, but you're definitely not new to real estate.
No, real estate's something that I've always done and I've always loved. I've been doing it for 15 years. I got in right at the first, or not the first boom.
So like 8 years old.
Yeah, around 8 years old. They didn't have pre-licensing requirements back then.
No, perfect.
So, but listen, it was something that I've always loved. Actually, when I got into the business, I was working at Nike Factory Outlet in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. If anybody knows Lancaster County, there's outlets, right? And that's kind of what they're, and Amish people. But I was working there, and one of my associates, or one of the my workers or coworkers there, her mom actually owned a Remax, a real small boutique, and she was like, "Oh, my mom owns a Remax," and I was like, "Ooh, I want to do real estate. I've always wanted to do real estate. Have your mom call me." I didn't think she would call me. Her mom would actually call me. She got me in the business, and the rest is history.
That's great. And then you broke Amish.
And then I broke Amish.
You came down to South Florida.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, yeah, from Lancaster I went to Philadelphia.
Okay.
I sold in Philly for a long time, and then the weather just drew me in like it does everybody else.
Absolutely. So I'm sure you've been doing real estate since you were 19, and
Right.
since about 2003, if I remember correctly. And one of the things that really kind of brought us together, and just having kind of like-mindedness and whatnot. But who are your role models that that you really kind of looked up with, that kind of guided you through the business?
Well, I mean, like role models.
Mentors, like a real estate mentors, or
Okay.
Someone that really kind of took your hand, because a lot of times, as I said in the last episode, there's 400 real estate agents coming into our board every month.
Yep.
And they're all excited, they're all gung ho, and then they get into the business, they're like, well, who do I go with? Who do I align with? He's telling me this, she's telling me that.
Right.
So I think we all have our kind of real estate mentors.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing they don't teach you in class, right? Unfortunately. And I was actually a real estate instructor in Pennsylvania, so they just teach you how to pass the test, right? They don't really teach you anything. So I've had several mentors. I mean, kind of throughout my journey and career in real estate. Initially when I started, and I honestly recommend this for all new. So if any new agents are watching this, or if you're struggling, join a team. Honestly, it's a little tough sometimes because we're in a business sometimes with egos. But you got to put your ego aside. So when I first got into business, I worked with that RE/MAX broker. I was her assistant / part-time agent. And then from there, I was a buyer's agent for this guy, Len Burness. If you see this, Len, you definitely got me in the business. When he kind of showed me the ropes, he was in the business a very long time, successful. And then when I moved from Lancaster, I moved to Philadelphia. And there's a couple agents there that, still to this day that I talk to all the time. Chris Mattioli, if you're watching this, I talk to you. Dave Krieger. I mean, there's been a lot of guys that's helped me through my career. And then coming down to South Florida, not knowing anybody, starting to meet and network with different brokers. My broker, Brian Russo,
Absolutely.
super sharp. I like Brian because he doesn't he's not like a realtor. He's kind of a businessman. And I think one of the mistakes that agents make is they don't treat this like a business, and I think Brian does a good job of it. You've been instrumental in kind of bringing me into like the RE/MAX family. Right. Can we say RE/MAX? Okay. Yeah. But you and I have definitely had a lot of conversations, sure. Kind of everywhere, all the time via text or phone calls or even in Vegas and stuff like that. So I mean, it's you can't do it by yourself. We're independent contractors. We're running our own business. But if anybody knows me, they know I like to collab with people. So, I mean, I'm always talking to people, kind of being in their shadows, just learning from people that are smarter than me, better than me, have been in the business a long time.
Yeah, it's awesome. And the reason why we're late is because my technical difficulties. I needed Ben to bring all his video equipment because I'm like, what do I do with this? How do I do this? What's the setting? So thank you anyway.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I appreciate it. So, real estate is getting challenging by the day. Sure. And I think that, as more agents get into the business, mm-hmm. They might, start to understand that, real estate business is not as easy as maybe we make it look, because good agents do that. One of the things that I'd like to kind of ask you and get your opinion on, in the next 3 to 5 years, what do you think the most challenging part of being a real estate agent in this time period will be?
Money. Yeah. And what I mean by money is Wall Street getting into real estate. So, there's always been quote unquote disruption in our business. And as the market is good, you see the discounters come and then you see them go. You always see someone trying to come in and change things. And that's been going on at least since I've been in the business. And from what I understand, talking to other people, it's been going on way longer before that. But what's different today, I think, is it's money. I mean, you have a lot of VCs, pumping millions and millions of dollars into real estate. So now anybody who's kind of innovative, thinking of something, like you have the compasses, the purple bricks, you have multi-million-dollar injections of cash, and it's like, here, go try this. So you couple that with the internet and the accessibilities that you can go direct to consumer. I think in 3 to 5 years, the entire business is going to change. I don't think we're going anywhere. Right. I really, really don't, because it's still for most people, the most expensive purchase they're ever going to do. And yeah, some people are savvy enough that they can go online, they can find their house, they know the market, they can buy it. But as you know, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts. It's not just finding the house. It's once you have that contract and then going to closing, that's where the magic happens. And that's where I tell my clients, I'm sure you'll tell your clients that too. It's like, I don't get paid to open the door and for you to like the house. You either like it or you don't. I get paid once we actually go to contract and then making it to the closing table. And you're right, good agents make it look easy. That's why I can see where the allure and draw is to come into our industry. Sure. But it's not.
No, I mean, if all was opening the door, it would be, robots. We'd be replaced by AI and robots and stuff like that. And I was speaking to a client actually yesterday, and she said, well, I'm relocating from Miami, and I don't really know Palm Beach County, and so I asked her, and I usually ask every client, like, so why are you using a real estate agent? Because, I try and find out, from consumers, not assume or have these preconceived notions of what really is happening. And she said, because I need to know the area. Right. Like, you know the area. I don't know the area. Right. So it's really the story of the area, the story of everything, that really brings the value of the real estate agent.
I mean, tying back to Keys to Boca, one of the reasons as I was learning all the new development, all the markets, all the different neighborhoods. I was also painting that story online for people to, if they're searching, if they see Via Meisner and they type Via Meisner in Google, there's a good chance that one of my videos may pop up. And again, it's just because you don't know the area. There's only so much that the internet can tell you. So me visiting all that, I felt that I provided good value and started working for my business because people would reach out to me and they'd be like, tell me a little bit more about this project. Whether I made money or not, or did the deal or not, they started seeing me as a professional, a real estate professional in that industry that really knew everything about both real estate, and that was my end goal. So I think you're right. Computers and robots and that's never going to replace that value that we can bring to our consumers. So we're a service industry.
And obviously, your background is in video production management because you know so much about video. You must have been a video engineer or something.
No. So
how'd this happen?
My technical background, I guess, college. I went to college for public relations. I got my real estate license, right as I was in college, and I knew that I always wanted to do real estate. So I wanted to do public relations because I felt, hey, if I could be my own publicist and marketing person, it would help my career and my business. The video stuff, it just became, when I get into something, thanks to YouTube, Google, and things like that, I'm up, you can ask my wife, I'm up all night just watching videos and figuring out, how to do stuff. And that's with anything. So that's a lot of time behind the scenes that you don't see.
So if you have a recommendation to an agent that watching, whether experienced or new, to get into video, what's the first thing that you would say, the kind of tip, trick, that maybe will help them not have to watch as many how-to videos?
Yeah, so don't buy expensive equipment. I bought a bunch of stuff, honestly, but before, I did a good 6 months of honestly with the iPhone. The iPhone itself, the camera's good, the audio's good. Maybe buy yourself a little tripod and then just see if it's something that you like. Video is not for everybody. And that's the truth. But if you want to do it, try it first. Then if you like it, then you can upgrade to, a nicer camera, nicer mic, and all this other stuff that, I ended up buying. And some of the stuff I use, some of the stuff I don't. But try it first. And then don't be so, and it's just the way I've run my business my entire career, don't be so salesy. Right. Don't, people know you're in real estate, and it's just being top of mind, right? So if you're doing these videos, just provide value. So then they see you as that professional in whatever real estate market that you're in. And then they're going to call you.
Sure.
You don't have to tell someone, hey, buy this. They're going to buy it if they like it.
Absolutely. So basically what you're saying is it's kind of like a friend with a boat, right? Yeah. You never really want to own the boat. Right. You just want to be with someone. So you just have to be friends with Ben Arce. Right. And he's got all the expensive equipment. And,
I got them all. Yeah. And I lease it out really cheap.
And he'll help you all. In all honesty, that's what this is all about. This is what the program's about. It's, I know we've talked about Remax and stuff like that. It is nothing to do with Remax at all. No. It's about increasing the professionalism and collaboration within our industry. Because I'll tell you, our industry, the reason why there are so many disruptors is because we are not together. We're not selling each other's listings. We're always, fighting and animosity and all this stuff. And, what we want to try and do is really increase the professionalism, increase the collaboration with you guys, yep. Girls and such. And as Rebecca said, is doing a violin and soapbox up there and jumping up.
No, but it's true. Listen, we're in a eat what you kill business, so it's very competitive. But a lot of the things that I tell the agents that I talk to that, I'll call myself a mentor towards them if I want to pat my own back. But I tell them, I said, listen, we deal with the agents or the cooperating brokers probably more than we do with the consumer. So yeah, you have to fight for your consumer, you have to fight for your buyer, fight for your seller, but you still have a relationship with the other agent because one deal with your client, you may do 4, 5, 6 deals down the road with these other agents. And if you don't have a good reputation and you don't have a good relationship in a competitive market like we are in today, it might be harder to get that deal closed on a multiple offer situation.
Agreed. Buyers and sellers come and go. Realtors are here, and
it doesn't matter what brokerage you're with.
No.
We're friends with brokers in every, brand.
Yeah, and some of my best friends, whether it be Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, Century 21, and I'm not trying to leave out any, but whether it be independent brokerages. These are really good friends of mine that I count on, that I listen to, and I believe wholeheartedly together is better. Yeah. And we really need to kind of improve this real estate industry together. And it doesn't matter what You know, and it really is a service to your buyers and sellers. Going along what you said, you know, it's really a service to your buyers and sellers, because guess what? If you know that you're showing one of my listings, you're going to try and sell it more than you're going to sell it to Joe Schmo's listing, because you know it's going to be a smooth transaction.
You're going to say, and I say it all the time to my clients. You know, I go, hey, listen, I know Dave, I know the listing agent. You know, I know it's priced right. I know the deal's going to be smooth. When it's somebody you don't know, not saying you don't sway them to buy it, but you kind of prep your client, say, hey, listen, this may be a headache down the road, or even better, in this particular like seller's climate, multiple offers. You know, not saying that we'll get the winning bid, but it kind of positions you that listing agent, if you represent the buyer, can say, hey, listen, I know Ben, you know, I know this is going to be a smooth deal. Let's go with this offer, because if all these deals are the same, we got to pick one.
Agreed.
So they're gonna pick which agent they feel like is going to get the
No,
deal
agree,
closed.
and it makes the buyers and sellers feel great.
Right.
Because, you know, like, oh, well, you know, Ben's a professional, you know, because Ben's a professional. He knows all these people, knows these agents, and he's got a great reputation with the real estate industry. You know, now, you know, you have more value than what you normally, you know, would have presented, you know, before, because you've collaborated and you've done the work.
100%. I mean, any new agents or inexperienced agents, I mean, with the shift of the real estate industry, we're shifting out of sales. I never saw us as a sales industry, but we're definitely shifting out of sales into service. And that's one of the best services that you can give your clients, is if you have a good reputation on the other side with the other broker, agent, whoever. So, I mean, that's how you stand out. That's how you close more deals.
You know, off camera, you said something, you know, that I kind of took. You know, we're not really in a sales industry. We're in a public relations industry, and that's why you got your degree in public relations. One of the things that you know, new agents struggle with is, you know, lead generation.
Right.
And you know, there are so many shiny objects out there, you know, beating down your door saying, hey, buy me, buy me, buy me.
Yep.
You know, is there a lead generation program that you specifically use or you believe in? And would you advise agents to spend money on leads?
Yes. This right here. So all this, because we're in a sales industry and we're the easiest to be sold. So all these other sellers that are selling leads and things like this, you know, they're pitching, hey, if you can close one more deal, if you can close two more deals or whatever, and it always sounds good and they always make it seem lucrative, right? And the truth is, especially if you're a new agent, your best form of business, and even experienced veteran agents, is your database in your phone, honestly. Everything else we do, honestly, only represents, you know, if we're cold calling, if we're buying Zillow leads, Realtor.com leads. And listen, I understand there's anomalies where, you know, people are crushing it on Zillow and Realtor.com and things like that. But if you talk to most experienced agents, I would say a good 80 to 90% of their business is past clients and your sphere of influence, right? So if you just spend your time on that as a new agent, you're going to crush it. And then if you have a little bit of money for marketing and things like that, and you can buy leads, you know, that's only going to represent 10%, maybe 20% of your business. But if you do that, the key is going to be consistency. Don't do it for 3 months. It'll never work. You're going to have to commit to it at least, in my opinion, a year, most likely 2-3 years. Full commitment, knowing that you may not get anything.
Yeah, it's all about consistency in anything you do, especially in marketing, right? So I just wanted to thank you for coming in, and I appreciate it. And hopefully you have your breakfast sandwich, you know. So
I appreciate it. Yeah. Breakfast with the broker. It's the only reason why I came.
Thanks so much.
You got it. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You got it.